in the heart of Dublin, Ireland. We are staying at Jacob's Inn, which is a pod hotel where you sleep in your own capsules. It's a little bit of a hostel style, but I'll show you why it's so great. And then this afternoon, we are doing the Jameson Distillery tour, the Guinness Brewery tour, seeing more of Dublin, Ireland. Then we'll end up back here tonight. I'm Michael, the channel's DownieLive. Let's get started. Do we think that's really all Guinness? Dublin, Ireland, both a very old and modern city. Let me show you. Okay, so as we first step inside Jacob's Inn, we're met with a warm and pretty hip atmosphere with a comfortable waiting area on the left, as well as a space to eat or hang out with other travelers, and is surrounded by some pretty cool artwork. And connected to the lobby is this restaurant and bar, which makes for a great place to get some work done. Oh, you know, with a pint of Guinness. Now, as we head down the halls towards the rooms, there's a big storage room, so if you have bikes or large luggage, this is the room you'd keep that all in. Bigger lockers here, you keep all your luggage. I travel light, so mine's actually all in my room. One of the nice things, if you've been traveling for a while, you might want that. Every room has its own passcode to get in, so your stuff's safe except with 9 other people, but now, as we go into the rooms, I'm going to have to be quiet here as there could be people sleeping. But as you can see, all of the beds are stacked along one wall. This one's mine. You can hang your coat or hat on the hooks and store your stuff in these locked cubbies, which coincide with your pod number. Also, in each room are 2 doors. The first is for the toilet and the sink, and the second is for the shower. Okay, now, before getting into bed, tuck your shoes into your little cubby hole and climb up into your pod. Now, this pod cost me $25 a night, which is by far the least expensive accommodation of my trip, but is in a shared room with others, so it's not completely private. The beds are clean and individually private, but because you can close the curtain and there's no circulation or AC in the pod, they do in fact get very hot at night. On the plus side, they do have space to hang your clothes. It has a shelf here to hold some stuff, as well as a USB charger to plug in to, well, you know, charge your stuff. It's a small pod, so that's about it. So now that we've checked in, it's time to head out and explore Dublin. Now, these are all spots that people have told me that I have to see when I come to Dublin. So because I only have a day here, we're going to go through it all very quickly. First stop is Phoenix Park, which is similar to Central Park. It sits in the heart of the city and houses fantastic green space along with lots of history. Buildings just like me, a little unstable. There's nothing wrong with that. What is going on? Okay, I'm running a little bit tight on time here, so I'm going to rush through these kind of 3 big tourist attractions that you have to see when you come to Dublin, starting with the Christchurch Cathedral, right here. It's actually 10 euros to go inside, so I'm not going to do that. Let's move on to the next one. Next to come see is the Dublin City Hall. Very beautiful building. I don't know why else I need to see it. And right behind City Hall is the Dublin Castle. You can get your tickets in there to explore inside. I think it's probably guided tours. Again, I've opted not to visit inside. Just want to check out outside, and we've got more to see. I'm only here for a day. Just keep that in mind, please. If you like all of these and you want to see some pictures I take on the trip, make sure to follow me on Instagram at DownieLive as well. And you'll obviously be able to follow along with the Instagram stories in real time. These videos take a little bit of time to put out, but if you want to stay up to date, Instagram's the best spot for that. And there it is, we finally arrived at St. Patrick's Cathedral, which right next to it has a beautiful, quaint little, very busy little park. And if nothing else, he's given us a really fun day every March 17th. So Paddy, you the man. Can't wait to see what the cathedral looks like after all the renovations. But for now, I think it's time to head to the Guinness Brewery. Like a heavy, important feeling to it. And I know both the Distillery tour and the Guinness Brewery tour are not like typical local Irish things to do, but I've also heard that if you've come all the way to Ireland, these are things that you have to do. So we're gonna check them out. Now I have to say, both of these tours, while being very well done, are a little bit more on the touristy side than I would have liked, but they are a great way to get your fill of the history of the city, as well as a little bit of culture in a glass, as I call it. The tip is you're not supposed to sip Guinness because you're just getting nitrogen head, so you gotta make sure you have a mustache afterwards. That means you're properly getting into it. Okay, I know this is kind of a touristy thing to do, but since the distillery's been here for over 200 years, I figure this is a good way to get a little bit of culture and the history and some Jameson whiskey all in one go. If you're wondering about the hat, Worth Hats, it's a great hat company that makes fantastic hats, but they're also a very positive mental health initiative. All the proceeds from the hats goes towards a counseling fund. So those are linked down below if you want to check them out. They make all sorts of different styles for whatever you're into. All right, back to the original programming. You might be wondering what I'm doing in Ireland, and the answer is that I'm attending the Only Just Media Summit in Belfast, Northern Ireland, to hear other YouTubers like Cody Warner and Tyler Babin share their stories. But it would be crazy to come all the way here and not experience some of the amazing things this part of the world has to offer. In the next few videos, I'll be making my way from Dublin to Belfast, then Glasgow to London. This is just such a beautiful experience. We'll take ferries, buses, and trains to get there, and we'll stay on a barge, in a church, and spend a night on an overnight sleeper train. So if you want to see the highest altitude train station in the UK, ride a high-speed train, and sip whiskey in a traditional Scottish distillery, stick around, subscribe, and join me for the adventure. No offense, Glasgow. This is much nicer to me. It's just getting started. So let me know if you've been to Ireland or you're from Ireland. Let me know what I missed and I need to do next time I come back to Dublin. Also, let me know in the comments what you thought of the Pod Hotel. Would you sleep in it? Are you claustrophobic? Anyway, I'm Mike. The channel's DownieLive. I don't know where I'm going next, but I know I want you there with me. See ya.